Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest episode of Local Legends, our pre-show before we do Kitsap Quiz Night. How you doing tonight? All right, I love it. Hey, we've got a great episode here planned out for you. Before we get into it, I wanted to let everybody know who is here for Kitsap Quiz Night. Are you here for Kitsap Quiz Night as well? Okay, I love hearing that. Great to see you as always. We have answer sheets for the quiz right there at the engineer's booth where my friend Christopher Hart will be sitting in next little while. You can go ahead and grab those. In the meantime, we have a very exciting interview. This is the latest Smokestack Local Legends, where we bring the local legends right to you from across the peninsula. We interview them, we pelt them with questions about people doing stuff. And it's all about people doing stuff on Local Legends. They're doing great things in their community. Tonight, we follow that up with two of those people in our community that do amazing things, Dave and Shawna Lambert. A round of applause, everybody. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. So as you can probably tell, and as many of you probably know, Dave and Shawna own the Slippery Pig Brewery. And I should say, can we start talking about Slippery Pig Breweries, plural? Can we add an S on the end there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. I suppose it's
Site 2 coming up.
All right, that's cool. Well, I want to talk about that, and maybe that's a good launching point. Both of you not only have deep roots in Kitsap County, you started a business here in Kitsap County, you started in Poulsbo, and now you're expanding to Bremerton. Tell us about what your plans are for Bremerton and what we can expect.
Ooh. So we got this sweetheart of a location on Callow Avenue, real close to Ridgeline Brewing. So we're going to be starting in the next couple weeks, couple months. That will primarily be a brewing facility. We've got some big shiny stuff already in the building. We have more big shiny stuff coming into the building soon. So the idea is that we're going to get the brewing operation going there, get the tap room open there, and then focus some attention back in the downtown Poulsbo location by expanding the kitchen there so that we can get some hand-dipped corn dogs. And
very nice. That sounds great.
I want corn dogs.
Corn dogs, I love it. So I'm curious, so why was Bremerton appealing and attractive to go from Poulsbo to here? I think it's interesting. We had Miranda Pinheiro from Cafe Corvo. Callow's clearly expanding. I also love how Yoko Ramen in Bremerton had a location in Poulsbo before. I'm blanking on the name now. The New Mexican restaurant that is in downtown Bremerton now is also Mezcalitos. Thank you very much. Also, a new location here in Bremerton. Now you're coming down as well. What is appealing about Bremerton? Why is that a good place to expand to?
Oh, do you want this?
Cheap rent, number one.
All right. We are known for our rents. Yes,
I love the Callow area, and it's so weird and awesome down there. And we're really looking forward to the opportunity to help develop community there. And,
I love it. I love that. So I think what we should do here is we have really a three-part series here. We have a love story, we have a beer story, and then we have a brewery story. So let's peel this onion back and go all the way back to the start. First of all, Dave, your family goes back like into the 19th century, correct?
For sure, yeah. My mom's a Hillstead. We got that part of our family got here in the 1880s.
Wow.
From
Norway?
From Norway.
Okay.
Yeah, straight from Norway.
Okay.
Quick stop in Minnesota, and then off to Poulsbo. There was a family member that lived here before the Hillstead family got here. That was Peter Iverson or Ivor Peterson.
Okay.
It was a Scandinavian name.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if that was an uncle of my great-great-great-great-grandmother or not. But they landed in Poulsbo. They were in Poulsbo for 20 years before they moved on to Brownsville, the Gilberton-Brownsville area. Yep. My great-great-great-grandmother was famous for being a midwife in the 1800s into the 1900s. My great-great-great-great-grandfather kind of got into county government at some point, doing what, I don't know. But then one of his kids, my grandpa's uncle, was the Kitsap County auditor during the Great Depression.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Wow.
he was supposedly the biggest landowner outside of the military or school districts because he knew who was going into foreclosure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little inside information there, I'd say.
Yeah. My grandma used to tell me, she's like, "Oh, nobody liked Uncle Ted."
I bet. And you are a North Kitsap High School graduate, 92.
Yep.
You are a North Kitsap
96.
96. So how do you guys meet?
Well, I was still in high school, and Dave worked for the city of Poulsbo, and I saw him working on the side of the road one day, and I thought he was the hottest guy I'd ever seen in my life.
I was younger once.
And I was like skipping school that day or something, so obviously we didn't stop and talk to him. So one of my friends saw him later on, and he was working on the side of the road, and she got stopped at a red light and rolled her window down and said, "Do you know who Shawna Murphy is?" And he said, "I've heard of her." And he's like, "Give her my number." And then I didn't call him, and he called me the next night, and we went on a date, and we've been together ever since.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Why beer, and how does beer come into the picture as far as something to make up your professional time, if you will?
Ooh, I needed a hobby, I guess, way back when.
Okay.
We actually went to Arizona, met to see her family, and of course, growing up in North Kitsap, before I turned 21, we were lucky enough that my friend's uncle worked for Rainier. So he would bring home like a case of Henry Weinhardt's every week. They're contract brewing through Rainier. So my buddy would steal beer out of his dad's fridge. And so we were kind of drinking this, not swill before we turned 21. And I think just growing up in Western Washington, like there was, we grow so many hops in Washington State, not Western Washington.
That's right.
Barley, like all the barley we use at the pig is grown in Washington State, malted in Washington State. Like we're kind of surrounded by it anyways.
Yeah.
But then we visited Arizona, and our now relative had like 12 different kegs of beer that he'd made in his fridge. And I'm like, this is amazing. I want to do that. And then, pretty soon started experimenting, like out of the box. I'm like, where can I push the limits of beer? What can I do with this? And we were doing the farmers market at the time. Actually, Shawna and I were two of the founding members of the Poulsbo Farmers Market.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we did that. It was us, Leslie, Andy, we helped. Yeah, Nikki Johansson, we helped. We were there. So it was like, man, there's all this other agriculture stuff that is produced right here in Kitsap County. Like, I bet you I could do something with this. And then over the course of years, a friend of mine's like, I would buy this. I'm like, well, we'll give it a try, grab a license, and start a business. Why not? So,
That's so cool.
started right up on the farm.
Yeah.
A little 1-barrel brew house, crammed in a little 9-foot by 11-foot building. And now we're expanding into a 12,000 square foot space.
That's amazing.
So.
Well, and I love because I feel like in this day and age, there's a lot of places you can go out on the farm, have a beer, have a glass of wine. But Slippery Pig, to give you an idea of how long I've been going there, I have a good friend, a couple that we know, that we went to Slippery Pig. I want to say, well, it was at least 13 years ago because she did not drink that day, and we did not know why. And she had a kid, and now that child is 13 years old. So it's been a few years, and I just love the atmosphere of it. Of course, so you start out on the farm, but then you move into Poulsbo. And what was that transition like?
That one was really, really difficult. We weren't prepared for some things like how much does rent cost? When you get your first commercial power bill,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a phone. Well, I'm like, that number can't be right. Then you get the natural gas bill, and you're like, no way, I got to make a phone call. So it was kind of a steep learning curve from there. But yeah, we made it work. There's a couple tough years in the beginning, and then we brought in food, and yeah.
Yeah, I personally love the way that you both bring community into the fold a bit. And you're not afraid of a PR stunt. I also love that. We have to talk about the time this man put a keg into a rowboat to make it to Ballard.
To Ballard.
And yeah, talk about that. You rode all the way from Poulsbo to Ballard.
Yeah, 7 hours of human-powered rowboat in a keg.
In a kilt, by the way?
In the kilt.
Wow.
Of course.
Okay. I mean, you have to ask.
Yeah, you've got to go through the Ballard locks. Like, it was super fun, and like a 9-foot rowboat.
That's amazing.
Through the shipping lanes, across the Puget Sound, just like my ancestors would have done.
Yeah, that's so cool. How is it that, and why do you think, as far as like being a brewery, that sort of the experience? I know you have pinball. I know that
we've got pinball.
You have quite a community there. So what is it about kind of bringing all of these facets of community together in one space? You're kind of a hub in that way, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to weigh in on that?
I don't think it's even intentional. It's just we like to have fun, and we like to have fun things for people to do. And both of us growing up in Poulsbo know that it wasn't always a lot of fun for younger people downtown. And we've even heard it from other businesses downtown. They're like, thank you for doing what you did because it enabled us to do what we want to do now. Like downtown wasn't fun before, and now it is.
Yeah.
So it's just bringing in stuff that we want to do that we think is fun.
That's so cool. Have you noticed an evolution? You know, what was the year you guys opened in Poulsbo? What was the
in downtown?
Yeah,
2014.
In 14. Okay,
Yep.
So in 14. So made it through the pandemic. You know, so we're 10 years on. What have you noticed as far as the evolution down there, and how do you think that you've been a part of that and sort of in helping to grow Poulsbo?
I've noticed a lot of, age is so weird because when I was 20, I thought someone my age was old, and now that I'm this age, I don't think I'm old. But so many people that like I've gone to high school with that come back to visit, and they're just like, oh my gosh, downtown is totally different now. It's a really fun place to be. And again, like we didn't do anything intentionally, but I think, the Brass Kraken next door to us does a lot of fun stuff too. And we come from farmers market, brewery world, where everyone just works together. And restaurant industry is not like that typically. But our neighbors at the Kraken are super cool and friendly, and they moved in, and they were just like, yeah, let's work together, let's do stuff. And so we just brought that community. Western Red is really big on like working together with other people. So like, we all build off each other, and it's, I don't know, maybe a new way of doing things.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it works.
And Dave, you also have a side project, I believe, called Unpants My Heart.
Oh, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Paulsbo's newest super group.
All right. So who's in it? What are you playing?
Oh.
I recognize the lyric, I think. NSYNC, maybe? Who is the lyric based off of? What's the...
Oh, the name of the band?
Yeah.
We don't know. It just kind of came up. We needed a band.
Okay.
And we started at Numb the Peaches, which nobody knew where that came from, but it just kind of...
Fair enough.
Somehow evolved into Unpants My Heart. So yeah, we're an 11-piece band.
Wow. Okay.
With a full horn section.
4 horns? I think you need a 5th.
Sometimes.
Maybe.
Sometimes there's 6. Okay. It depends. Our keyboard player bounces back and forth between keyboard and a saxophone. Go through who's in the band. It's 11 people.
So it's Leon Tucker on bass.
Leon Tucker
the third.
Yep.
Jordan Petrie on keys,
Yep.
Brian Germain on guitar, Dave on vocals, harmonica, saxophone. I think that's it. Billy Nettlebeck on vocals, tambourine, other random percussion pieces, and sometimes there's a sick kazoo solo in there.
Yep, got to have a kazoo.
Kyle Barber
Kyle
on
Barber.
vocals.
Enright, Mr. Enright.
Greg Enright on Barry sax.
Oh, our kid.
Yeah,
Enos
Lambert.
Enos Lambert on trombone. That's 7, 8, 9.
It's okay. It's not the Oscars if you don't remember them all.
Right. Yeah, and I'd like to
That's a
thank my
pretty good
mom.
list. you did a great job of going through, and I'm
Yeah, Scott
I'm
on
looking forward
drums
to-
and John on trumpet and I'm forgetting one person. Scott. Yeah.
There you go.
That might be it.
There we go. I look forward to seeing you guys sometime in person. I'm curious too. Let's bring it back to the beer, and I would just be curious of like what you think has worked really well in your brewing, like what.
What's worked really good in the brewery?
Well, yeah. Do you have a favorite? Do you kind of like?
I usually stick with something kind of light. But I don't know. I love beer. Huh?
What are you excited about right
Okay.
What am I excited about?
now? The dark mild again?
Oh, the dark mild's back on, so it's like 2.5% alcohol. Super fun. It's like how low can we get this one?
Yeah.
We just tapped a couple of premium malt liquors, which I'm very excited about.
Awesome.
We're doing one with one we cask edition on raspberry, and another one cask edition on blueberries, and then we're mixing those with Screwball peanut butter whiskey to do a peanut butter and jelly beverage for the Poulsbo Blues and Jazz Festival this weekend, PB&J. So we'll have a PB&J beer to go with the PB&J festival.
That sounds fantastic. That's amazing.
Yeah, it turned out really nice.
Awesome.
And I don't know. I love it when craft beer does malt liquor.
Yeah, I love that. There's a nice intersection there. I have one other personal memory to share with you. I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago, my old friend Jack and I swam from the Turner Joy to the boat shed.
Yes.
And you came along.
Support boat.
You came
I was the
along
support
to be the
boat.
support boat. And I wanted to say thank you for helping us out. This is probably about 10 years ago also, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
So-
jeez. Yeah. Wow, time flies.
We had a great time doing that, and I was so grateful to have you there. So,
And Jack's crazy.
yeah. The currents through there. I remember you guys going back across, and the rowboat was pretty much you were going for the marina, and I think you landed at about Evergreen Park.
Yeah, it took us so wildly out. And I'm like, Jack, dude, did you even check the tide charts? And he's like, why? I'm like,
Why?
because you're swimming.
Yeah.
That's like a 7-knot current, man. You can't swim against that. And he's like, you maybe not.
No. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He's insane. I wonder what he's doing today.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to leave time just for you guys to say anything else and just about what the future holds for Slippery Pig, for yourselves, for the goodness of people doing stuff in our community.
Ooh. Well, I'm excited about a whole bunch of stuff. I'm mostly excited to be brewing on brand new, shiny, big stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to being neighbors with Cafe Corvo, with Ridgeline. Those guys are great. I mean, so far, based on the number of empty Cafe Corvo cups in the new location, we are fueled by Cafe Corvo.
Yes, and it can go both ways. They can be fueled by you now.
They could.
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, man, I don't know. The guys down at Ridgeline, Jesse, they're fantastic. I'm looking forward to doing a bunch of collaborations with them and bringing in some, I don't know. I want to work with them so much on something fun, but I don't know what yet. So, looking forward to that.
I think we can probably look forward to a Bremerton beer run at some point.
Oh, well, you heard it here first. A little breaking news there. Okay, well, so
She said it.
Just to set the table for who here has done the Poulsbo beer run before? Okay, so fairly popular event. It's great when we get a critical mass of breweries together. We can drink beer and go for a run. What better combo is there in the world? That's
Not really
wonderful.
much. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yep.
that is fantastic news. Great.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, well, Dave and Shawna, it's been a pleasure to have you on Local Legends. For those of you who don't know, Local Legends can be found, all of our podcasts, at kitsapsmokestack.org. You can watch each and every one of the amazing people that we have featured. I'm your host, Josh Farley. Can't thank Bill Man enough for making this possible for me to get to host this great podcast. We'll be starting up quiz, and we'll see all of you in the other regions another time. Have a good night, everybody.